Now then, serious stuff. 3 attacks in the past week in Germany, all involving migrants. First, the axe attack on the train that injured 4. A machete attack after a fight or a dispute with one woman hacked to death. And just last night, an ISIS suicide bombing outside a music concert. Robert Spencer is with us. He is the director of Jihad Watch. Robert, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I get the distinct impression, and so do our viewers, that the pace of these incidents is really speeding up.
It is, and it's going to get worse. This is just the beginning. We have to remember that the Islamic State, or ISIS, has repeatedly declared its intentions of sowing just this kind of mayhem in the West, repeatedly called on Muslims in the West to mount jihad terror attacks, lone wolf attacks. They threatened in February 2015, they actually warned that they were soon going to flood Europe with 500,000 refugees. That doesn't mean all the refugees are jihadis, but that there is a significant number of jihadis among the refugees cannot be denied. This has been an active infiltration effort that has been wildly successful.
Then Angela Merkel, who invited them in, opened the door, September of last year, I think it was, 2 million, come on in, open the borders. That was a disastrous mistake for Europe and certainly for her.
That would have been tantamount to saying, on December 8th, 1941, we invite any citizen of the Japanese Empire to come and settle in the United States. There is a state of war between ISIS and the West, and the West is pretending that the war doesn't exist and enabling the enemy to advance.
What about us here? We want to take in, I don't know the exact number, but I'm told it's around 80,000 Muslim migrants, largely Muslim migrants, from North Africa. They want to bring them in here. What do you say to that?
That is guaranteeing that there will be more jihad massacres like we saw in Orlando and San Bernardino here. Remember that Tashfeen Malik, the San Bernardino shooter, had passed 5 separate background checks from 5 different U.S. government agencies. They all saw nothing in her background, and she was an ISIS operative. She's not alone. There are going to be plenty more like her.
Briefly, I just want to go back to Europe. Pope Francis is visiting Poland Wednesday of this week, I believe. The Poles want to keep out these migrants. The Pope wants more of them in on humanitarian grounds. What do you make of this?
The Pope is inviting the suicide of Europe. The Pope is actively enabling the suicide of Europe.
But he's acting as a humanitarian.
Yes.
Let's remember, 3,000 migrants have drowned in the Mediterranean just this year.
Saudi Arabia has thousands of air-conditioned tents for the pilgrims that lie unused all but 10 days of the year. They could take in all of those people, and they have a cultural, linguistic, and religious bond with them that Europe does not have.
Why don't they take them in?
They will not take them in because they freely acknowledge that there are terrorists among them, which if we say we're charged with racism and bigotry and Islamophobia.
Give me the end game here. If, as you say, these events speed up, they get more common, constantly almost, what's the end game for Europe? Is it civil strife, or what is it?
I don't see how civil strife can be avoided. This is going to be happening on a regular basis now in Germany, and it's going to spread to the other countries, and at a certain point, people are going to fight back.
You have just written The Complete Infidel's Guide to Iran, is that correct?
That is correct.
Is it published yet?
It is available now from Regnery Publishing at any self-respecting bookstore.
Self-respecting bookstore. You got it in nicely, Robert. Robert Spencer, everyone, The Complete Infidel's Guide to Iran. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Much obliged.